Hello, hello, hello. Have you wanted to know who should be on your team? When we talk about a team, we're just sometimes we think about sports and we think about business and work and different things, but we want to talk about a personal team that will help us to get to where we need to be. And if you think of anything, of any other people that need to be added to this list, it's not an exhaustive list that we're going to talk about. But if you want to add to the list or give some comments or give some insight on what else or who else we need on our teams to make sure we're successful when we're thinking about planning lifelong, let me know in the comments and we'll be right back. Well, hello, 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 and we are back with Money Talks with Ayanna Smith, and I am your host, Ayanna Smith. And of course, I am a financial professional, meaning I'm a life insurance broker. Because some people say, well, what is a financial professional? We really don't know who or what that is or what you do. Well, I help people in the insurance, the life insurance space. There's so many wonderful and great. Uh, Licensed professionals out here, but I am one who will help you get yourself straight in the life insurance vein. And although I do final expense to make sure that some of our elders are covered if they have a hard time getting coverage and making sure that they have what they need to, what we say, put yourself away decently when you pass on to the next world and beyond. But I am really a proponent for helping people to build their wealth and build their money in the life insurance vein with tax-free strategies and also infinite banking. So we're going to get started on the tonight's talk. But what I wanted to share is double back because I had some people and I had a recent talk with some people and we were sharing and communicating about who should be on our team or when we're thinking about having ourselves in right position as we're looking at life insurance. Sometimes that's a scary thought for us because we think, oh my goodness, if I talk about life insurance, that means I'm going to die. Even if we don't talk about life insurance, we are going to pass away from here. But how we do it with grace and with dignity and with understanding is where I come in because I want to make sure that we are fully educated, we are fully understanding, and we have a full assurance that everything can be okay if we just take that one small step. You know, it says every journey starts with a single step. So we want to start with the steps on the right direction to getting ourselves together when it comes to our money, our mindset, our finances, okay? And getting that all in order. So tonight's topic is going to be about, let's see, who's on your team. Now, I'm going to pull some of my notes because, you know, I want to talk from some notes and just this is a list that I came up with by talking to some of my great friends, and they say, yeah, that's exactly who needs to be on this thing. And I've talked several times about estate planning and things of that nature, but it's such a deep dive that we can do that I'm going to give you a skim. So you need to do your homework to see what's going to fit you. Because here's the thing, when I look back and I work with clients, it's not a one size fits all, it's a one size fits you. So even though I want to fit in the space of helping you to maneuver and navigate those insurances and making sure that you have the right types, I want to also be able to connect you with the right people and get your mindset and get your mind to start, get those wheels to turning so that you can think about, I need to add some more people to my team so that I don't have to do this thing alone. What I say here is such a travesty when people get to the end and they have to figure out all this stuff on what to do, obituaries, and trying to figure out whose account was here and this and that. It's just so much. But we need to start forward thinking. Don't you agree? Forward thinking and putting ourselves in the mindset that, you know what, we can do this and we can get it done now as we push forward. So here we go. All right. It says teamwork makes the dream work. I titled it tonight, Teamwork Makes the Dream Work. And we've heard that before. And as I plan, who should I have on my team? Who should I have on my team? So who should I have on my team? Okay, the first person I think about, someone that sometimes we don't often go to, or some people go religiously. It just depends on the person. But don't be afraid of them either. The first person, your doctor. If you have a doctor, they need to be on your team because they need to keep things fully aware, above board. And even in that, we know the two things we don't like to talk about: our health and our money, right? But here's the thing: doctors are licensed. I am a licensed professional, so I can't tell anybody about what you tell me, okay? I wouldn't share your business, but you do have to, as you're planning, get someone who will know the business, who's like a power of attorney, or who knows what your who you want your directives to be, if you want to be resuscitated or not, if you got sick and all that stuff. Those things come into that. So your doctor needs to be a part of the team because he can give you some guidelines on what to do. If you choose, I don't want to be resuscitated, or I do, or what type of rights do your family have on taking you off the respirator or not, or feeding tubes. It's so many legalities that we can't even begin to talk about or think about when we're in that position. And that is not the time to think about it. The time to think about it and talk about it is now, although morbid and it may be, and we don't want to, we want to think happy thoughts. Absolutely. We want to think happy thoughts, but we have to be realistic and put that into play. So now the next person that we're going to look at being a part of our team would be, I hope you're taking notes, would be, I would say, the mortician. Oh my goodness, did somebody just clutch their pearls? Mortician, yes, the mortician, because the mortician is going to help people to navigate on how that process works when people pass away and what comes next. Help you to kind of get your mindset together, whether you want to do traditional burials, just graveside. There's a plethora of things that you can do. You can do graveside, you can do a memorial, you can have a cremation, you can have a full-blown service. Is the person military? Were they not military? Where do they want to be buried? Those things need to be talked about so you won't be scurrying about when you're trying to figure things out. It's too much stress trying to figure stuff out. I recollect when I had some family members to pass away, and I was just like, listen, we already knew things were kind of coming to the end, but I think that I was very grateful and very thankful that they had their stuff together, and we only had to do a few little tie-ups and strings, and because they had everything in order, paid for, and all of that. It was such a relief because the grief was more overwhelming than having to figure out who was going to pay. Okay. All right. And so that mortician needs to be a part of your team so that you can start talking on the front end and find out what's going on. Okay. Be prepared for the final expenses and all that. Like I said, it can help you with that, getting some coverage, even if it's just a small amount. A small amount is better than no amount. Okay. Because then that just helps her anxiety to surmount and become too overbearing. All right, well, let's look at the third person. The third person that we may need to look at would be let's see, an estate planning lawyer. Yes, looking at my notes, an estate planning lawyer. So an estate planning lawyer will help you to navigate through a bunch of things. The estate planning lawyer, not only, well, with the regular lawyer as well, could help you navigate through the medical parts, through some of the monetary parts and the legalities of it, and getting you through to like land and properties and things like that people may have owned, businesses, because I have a bunch of business owners that are out there that need to have things in order. It just keeps your mind focused and say, okay, can I get a consultation to get me on the track to what I need to do? Now, I know that there are some legal services that will give you like a little book, a preparation book, I would say. That's a great thing to do to guide you on the steps to what you want to do and what are your final wishes. Do you have children? Are you a blended family? All those things in order. Are your children over 18, under 18? Older kids, what are their rights? What are former spouses? How does all that kick in? Even when you look at, and I'm jumping, of course, because the last person on the list is going to be the licensed financial professional, which is me. But even looking at that, it still all ties and winds up together because here we are. Even look at the legalities with the insurance policies and things like that. Who are the beneficiaries? Who's going to get the money? Because I will tell you, whomever is going to get the money is who's left on the beneficiary line. So you even have to look at that. Check your stuff out. Ladies, I implore you, men, I implore you, check your stuff out, because you can't change it if you're not in your right mind. You can't change it if you're gone. Can't change it. It's too late. And telling someone, well, you know what my wishes would be. Nobody can speak from the grave, and nobody can speak if they're incapacitated and not of sound mind. That's why we have that statement: sound body and mind, making sure we have all our faculties together and we know what we are talking about and speaking of when these actions are put in place. So that's something that we really need to do. Make sure that we have a lawyer to talk with us and to us about our things. And some people may say, I hear somebody saying, well, I don't own any property, and what? Well, hey, how about this? If you own intellectual property, yes, you do own property. And those are poems and books and music and all those things. Those are intellectual properties. Those are things that need to be monitored and make sure that they are taken care of. Because if you're receiving royalties or something like that from music and poetry and things of that nature, books that you've written, then you want to make sure that those royalties are still intact and that can be passed down to the appropriate members in your family or whomever you deem it necessary. So there's still some things that we have to think about. I included, I'm a songwriter, have to think about who's going to get those royalties as those songs are sung and recorded and what have you. What's your intellectual property? If you're an author, all of that, it all ties together. And you think the most minute thing or the most minuscule doesn't matter, but it all matters. So that's why you have to write everything down and then just ask questions. Does this matter? By the professionals that can help you to get there. And then you may realize, wow, I'm worth more than I thought. Absolutely, you are. Okay, the next person, the fourth person that I would say would be on our list would be a CPA slash tax professional, because you want to make sure that you know how things are working tax wise, whether you are a W-2 employee or 1099, you straight have to take care of everything yourself. You're a full entrepreneur. And so you have to look at how all of those things are going to play in the now and in the later. So we want to make sure that part of your team will help you with financial success and business success, as well as personal success. Have that tax professional to help you out, because of course we all are related because of Uncle Sam, and we're not going to get away from anything that he's talking about. We're all connected. Okay, you with me? You agree? Absolutely. And the last person, as we're coming in for our descent, and hopefully if you have some questions, please ask those questions. But make sure that we know that we need to have a licensed financial professional. And absolutely, that's where I said I come in, want to make sure that life insurance broker, that person is helping you to make sure that looking over your policies. I know some people have policies, and we will get the policies and just shove them in the drawer and don't look at them again. But there are so many things that we need to be looking at over time. Keep that tune up. Like we have to tune up our cars, we need to tune up our finances. Like we have to keep going back to the gas station. We have to look at our finances in the same way. We can't add and subtract at the same time, but we need to know that what's going on is going to help us in a great way or not help us. Okay. So we have to make sure that we are talking to someone. We can set up a complimentary consultation just to have, just to see what you have going on, because I always tell people it's not a one size fits all. It is a one size fits you. It is very specific. Just like we spoke of the doctor. The doctor does not prescribe arbitrary medications unless he or she wants to go into malpractice. It's to treat something that they don't even know what's being treated. You have to tell them the symptoms, and then they try to figure out, let's say practicing medicine, try to figure out the appropriate strategy and the path to take in your medical healing. So, and then you have the options to think about, well, do I want to take the medication or do I want to take a natural holistic approach? You still even have those options. So I'm not trying to pigeonhole anybody into what you need to do, but I do want to challenge your thinking to say, hey, I need to do something, because if I don't talk about it, it doesn't mean that stuff is not going to happen. We say here, money talks. Money is always talking, even if we aren't talking about it. Things are always happening, even if we don't think they are. People are always driving down the highway, even if we're sitting still. People are still going to and fro. So that means, as my mom would say to me, life still goes on. Life will go on. It will continue to go on. But we have to make sure that we're going the best direction that we're supposed to go for our lives and for our families. Wouldn't you agree? Okay, so to top this off and do a recap, we are going to say the first person, teamwork makes the dream work. We need to have a medical doctor on our team, and our specialty doctors too. I forgot about that. If we have specialty doctors, because some people do, you have some specialized situations that you need help with, and that you're going to the doctor for on a regular basis, then yes, pull them in on your team as well. And the second person is a mortician. If you have I don't want to make it sound kind of funny, but a family mortician, because my family has a mortician, a mortuary, a company that will be probably handling everybody as they push on forward. We'll say it like that. A mortician, number two. And number three, we want to have an estate planning lawyer, or slash, what some type of lawyer. Even if you have a legal service, start talking to those people to ask them, can they help you to get to the right direction, because you have questions about whether it's custody or whether it's older kids, younger kids, properties, and all that. You want them to be able to guide you in that direction, so you'll have those proper have the proper paperwork in place to make sure that things transfer as you would like them, and not be left in a mess because you don't have a will, or you don't have advanced directives for your health. So that's very important. And then you want to have a tax planner, number four, fourth person tax planner, to make sure that you are handling those taxes and things are going right in your personal and in business, if you are a business owner, to make sure that you're covered, connected, protected, and all that good stuff. And then five, the licensed insurance professional slash insurance broker. And I am an insurance broker, so we're here to help you. Help you to get things in order, and even to give you a complimentary consultation, just to look over what you already have. We can just look over it. If you're good, fine, stay right with what you have. We'll make some recommendations to consider if not. And if you're thinking about your retirement and things like that, all those things still are a part of this team. And this team that I'm suggesting, or recommending, I would say recommending highly, that you look at and get those pieces in order. Life is full of puzzle pieces, and we want to make sure that we have the correct pieces as we are pushing along. So if you have any questions and all that good stuff, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, because I am ready and available to connect with you. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at the Ayanna Smith. I have some people that are watching and listening on that airwave. And then we have Ask Ayanna _Financial Pro Facebook page. Ask for Ayanna, so you can connect with me on Facebook and IG and Twitter, and some people are over on LinkedIn, all of that. We're in most of these social media arenas, these social media streets, so that we can make sure that we all can do what we need to do and say what we need to say. All right. So this has been wonderful. I didn't get a lot of comments, but hey, I know we'll get some replays. So if you're watching replays or listening to replays, just ask your questions, send it out to me, direct message me, or set up that complimentary consultation so that we can get your questions answered and get your team moving and get you where you need to be. This is Ayanna Smith, and I am your host, financial professional, your favorite financial professional, and I am here to serve and help all of us get to the top. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening, and make sure that you share this and like and send it out to some of your wonderful loved ones, and we all become family as we elevate together. Have a great evening.